Rod Van Nistelrooy has revealed something interesting about our new star boy Amad Diallo following his performance against PAOK. Now, this perhaps is the reason he's outstanding from the rest of his teammates. Meanwhile, Alejandro Garnacho, an interesting stat. He might be the subject of all forms of attacks and scrutiny, but listen, there is a stat we cannot deny, and for some of you who believe in stats, they don't lie to you. Of course, for me, my football and how I enjoy it is not really about the stats, it's about what I see. But that doesn't mean stats don't matter. Welcome to the United Sport. My name is Webb, and on this day, by the way, I'm also going to tell you a little about our new incoming boss, Ruben Amorim. It's the penultimate day before his arrival, just 1 day to go, and the guy is in. But he has spoken about his former player, that is Manuel Ugarte, with whom they are going to reunite at Manchester United, and I'll tell you what he has said about him. Let's get it now. Listen, Ruud van Nistelrooy, while speaking before the game against Leicester City, of course, as we expected, he was asked about Amad Diallo. He definitely knew he had to give an update about Amad. It's most likely that he will be in the game, but Van Nistelrooy says that Amad Diallo has impressed him a lot because he's one of the few players who, after training, stays behind and keeps asking him questions about what he can improve, what more things he can do, what he can change about his game. And no wonder, it won't surprise you probably, that we are beginning to see the results of that talk between one of the greatest strikers we've had and one of the most exciting emerging stars at Manchester United. One, I think, who has been looking happiest ever since the departure of the former boss. Now, Van Nistelrooy also seems to love working with Amad Diallo. We've seen it in games where, even when he has brought him on as a substitute, we've seen Amad Diallo coming with a smile on his face. We've seen Van Nistelrooy as well embracing him after games. It shows that this is a person with whom they work on things and he applies them on the pitch. Probably one thing I must think he has tried to get into his head is that fighting spirit, the heart of a Man United player, where you've got to fight from the start to the end of the game. And I think that's one thing Ahmad does outstandingly well for the minutes that he comes onto the pitch. Now, that begs the question, what about Alejandro Garnacho? Look, there's an interesting stat, and we can all be honest and talk about Alejandro Garnacho and his lack of good attitude, and how he has struggled in the past games, his poor mentality and stuff, frustrating the team. But listen, if you do believe in stats, it will surprise you that Alejandro Garnacho is one of the most important players for Manchester United this season, at least, has proved. And in fact, him being among the top 10 dribblers in the Premier League begs the question, where is he going to fit into the plan of Ruben Amorim? Because we know that his 3-4-2-1 formation perhaps might not favor a player, a winger like Garnacho, but we're talking of a player who whose dribbles rank highly in the English Premier League. Let me show you the table, the stats chart as it is now in the Premier League. There you go. So this is Alejandro Garnacho for you, and how he ranks in certain key attributes for a winger like he is. Attacking carries, he has got 48 so far. He's ranked fourth in the Premier League. Carries into the penalty box, he has got 34. He's ranked fourth in the Premier League. Short ending carries, he has got 11. He's ranked fifth in the Premier League. 1v1 dribbles, he has got 64. He ranks eighth in the English Premier League. I think if you look at that stat, it's not an ugly stat for a winger, to be honest, because he's then daring to do things that make him an important player. And bear in mind that Manchester United ranks number 3 among the teams with the highest width per passing sequence, at least basing on this season so far, until now, where we and how we play. We rank third behind Tottenham, who are second, and Man City, who are topping, with a per sequence of 25.5 meters for Man City, 25.3 for Tottenham, and 25.2 for Manchester United. So, meaning Garnacho's type of game suits the structure we are playing under with Eric Ten Hag and a bit with Ruud van Nistelrooy because we play with a lot of width. Now, obviously, under Ruben Amorim, that will not be the case. He's not a guy of width. He's not a guy of wide players unless he's going to adjust his playing style and accommodate them. But it's a little different. So, question is, where is Garnacho going to fit? Now, the thing with Garnacho, guys, and it's not like we question him. Let me even keep that stat there, so that I drive my point home well. Because you look at those attacking carries and all the things he does in the box, the short ending carries, the 1v1 dribbles, and the carries in the opposition box and all that, and you're thinking those are good things because he starts well with those. But look, what then is the final product? For me, that's where the problem comes. His final product is his undoing, because with such stats, it's then illogical for him to have played 10 games in the Premier League and assisted only once. Remember, he has scored twice and assisted only once. Because if you have such stats in terms of advancing the ball into in the final third, into the opposition box, you have such carries into penalty box, such attacking carries, such short ending carries, you should be having more goals, you should be having more assists, isn't it? So the question about Alejandro Garnacho is with his final delivery, final decision making, and it still remains a problem that has got to be solved with him. That is, if there is room for him in the current formation, that in the new formation that Man United is bound to play under Ruben Amorim. But failure to do so, he might be gone. He might be a gone case. And we know that, of course, United is linked with several players. I'll talk about them later on loan. Players that are said to be bound to come in on loan, meaning we are looking at perhaps a possibility of player. I had Dimitar Babatov talk about how he believes that Gyökeres will join Man United. I've had people like Colomwani coming back in conversations about United, him coming in on loan. So there's quite a number of players that we are now linked with, perhaps players who are seen as those that can suit the profile of the new manager, of the new head coach a little more. So where does that leave Garnacho? That could be a question. He has been important in the previous setup, but will he be in the new setup? That's the multi-million pounds question. Now, Ruben Amorim, I was talking about how he has spoken about Manuel Ugarte. This is a player he worked with before, of course, and he spoke about how he loves Uruguayan players and stuff, and how Manuel Ugarte was a good boy, and he would love to work with him again and stuff, blah 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 blah. And of course, for me, Ugarte's presence at Man United is a good foundation for Amorim, because if you're a new manager going into a totally different setup, you need players who can perhaps help you first of all fit in, because Ugarte has been there before him, but also who can help you pass on your playing side to the rest of the team. Probably Ugarte will adopt more easily to that playing style than he ever was going to adopt to the previous under Ruud V and Eric Ten Hag. So it's a good thing to hear that I think Amorim now is beginning to talk about United players, and he's probably as excited. You can see it, by the way, that he's quite excited about the whole idea and prospect of joining Man United. Just the question is, how is he going to then deal with this team, with a bunch of youngsters who are so promising and hot and exciting so many Man United supporters? How exactly is he then going to integrate them into the team? Especially, I'm talking people like Sekou Kone, I'm talking people like Chido Obi, who we know is a lethal goal scorer at a club that is lacking goals with the senior team. So is it going to elevate him? What is going to happen? Because I mean, January is months away. Even if you are able to, he would be able to get in a player like Column One you've had on loan in Jan. I mean, Jan is far away. He has got quite a number of games before then. So what then is he bound to do? It's going to be an interesting, first few days for Ruben Amorim. But why speculate when the guy will be in the house just in less than probably 48 hours? So let's wait and see what exactly he's bound to do. But what I expect is that there will be certain kids promoted into the senior team, and they will get their chances. And trust me, United will move regardless what the old timers think or feel about the new boss. Webb is my name. Subscribe and let me catch you later.